Go.
Welcome to the first episode of our special series, Journey Through Wellness, exploring Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, breath, and more. Over the next few weeks, we'll take you through stories, people, experiences, and that awaken peace, purpose, and joy. I'm your host, Andy from Shuddhesi Radio.
And I'm your host Shalini, and today we are starting with something truly special, a hidden gem tucked away in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, the Art of Living Retreat Center.
It's one of America's top wellness destinations, a place where people come to heal, recharge, and rediscover themselves. And with us today is someone who has been there since the very beginning, Venkat Srinivasan, Vice President of Operations at the Retreat Center.
Venkatji's story is just as inspiring as the retreat itself. From IIT Bombay to Purdue, from a scientist at Texas to a teacher of yoga and meditation in Boone, quite the transformation, right, Andy?
Absolutely. From microchips to mindfulness, that's a serious upgrade.
So, welcome, Venkatji, to this series of Journey Through Wellness.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Andy G and Shalini G, for having me here.
Awesome. So, before we dive into the magic of this retreat, tell us a little bit about your personal journey. How does a scientist from IIT and Purdue end up running a wellness retreat in the mountains?
Yeah, I always joke that, as a mechanical engineer by training, I used to reduce mechanical stress in semiconductor chips, in buildings and structures. So I used to reduce stress in inanimate objects. Now I help reduce stress in living beings, in humans. So that's much more exciting and interesting. But my journey started back with Art of Living, started back when I was a graduate student at Purdue University. And I was such a high-strung student, always filled with anxiety, wanting to perform to my best. And you know how graduate student life is pretty challenging, especially a doctoral student. And coming from India, I grew up in Mumbai, and having transitioned here with the changes that happened for anybody moving here. But I found a student club on campus with Art of Living. It's called the Sky Campus Club, and it's there in more than 100 plus college campuses across the country. And I found a like-minded community to be with weekly meditations, breath work, learned the Sudarshan Kriya, which was really powerful and life transforming. It brought so much of clarity, so much of emotional resilience to go through my challenges, and really calmed me down, grounded me, and I was able to really go through my PhD in a quick time and finish that, and also became a teacher of the Art of Living because I was so inspired to share this wisdom with others. Then I went on to become a research scientist at Texas Instruments in Dallas, where I continued sharing and teaching the workshops, the happiness program, and the meditation programs, and saw the change and that transformation that people were having with these programs. And I was also fortunate to travel with Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar ji, who's the founder of Art of Living, and seeing him exemplify this wisdom and live a life full of joy and love, that really inspired me that I want to do something full time with this foundation. And it so happened that at that time, I was more of a spiritual seeker at heart, and I left my job, and this property was bought by the foundation in Boone, North Carolina. So I always say this is the journey from Bombay to Boone, and I never expected I would be ending up here on top of a mountain. And it's been 14 years. I haven't looked back.
Wow, that's such a leap of faith. And also a reminder that success isn't just about what we achieve, but how fulfilled we feel.
True.
So, Venkatji, the Boone Retreat Center is often described as the heaven on earth. But I heard that once upon a time it was an abandoned property. So, tell us a little bit more as to how it turned into this sanctuary of peace and healing.
Yes, Andy ji, when I came here 14 years back, it was it was abandoned for 8 years before that, back in 2011. So it was abandoned from 2004 to 11. It was built in the mid 90s as a monastic meditation center,
Mhm.
and then it went through this period. And when we came here, we found broken pipes. There are pipe freezers. They had probably left the water in the pipes, and we had 200 pipe freezers in each building. We had a lot of broken buildings, concrete, and it was bought in October of 2011, and the target was set that we want to inaugurate it in 9 months in June of 2012. So it was quite a task, and it was also the vision of our managing director, Mr. Nilendu Srivastava, who was the force behind having this done. And all the volunteers joined in. There were a lot of local contractors, mountain people who are not used to working, 10, 12 hours a day, started miraculously working. We had amazing volunteers come from Charlotte, Raleigh, Nashville, Tennessee, surrounding areas, doctors, engineers, professionals who would give their time and sweat and do the painting or planting or cleaning up the rooms. And it was such a joy. It happened with such ease and laughter through those 9 months. And it was quite a race to the finish. But we had 5,000 people at the inauguration on June 29th in 2012 when we inaugurated it. And we had retreats with more than 2,000 people. So we had to put 1,000 beds on site, get all the permits in time. That's another story in itself. But since then, I'm really blessed to have an amazing team on site who are really passionate about bringing this transformation and this knowledge, this ancient knowledge of wellness, this wisdom from India. And Gurudev has created some wonderful programs which really uh, provides tools by which people can take home and transform their life and bring that clarity within. So that's what has happened over these years.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that story with us. And
Sure.
it's amazing how something forgotten can become a place where thousands find themselves again. There is so much poetry in that self.
Absolutely. But I think, for someone listening right now or someone viewing this particular podcast and imagining those mountains, what can they expect when they visit?
Um, Imagine waking up to the sunrise mist over the Blue Ridge Mountains. You're sipping herbal tea. You're hearing the birds. No notifications. No phone. And your day might include doing a yoga class, a meditation class to rejuvenate you, an Ayurvedic spa treatment before lunch, nourishing vegetarian meals, a sound bowl meditation, sound bathing, a culinary Ayurvedic cooking demonstration class. You can have a lifestyle consultation with an Ayurvedic practitioner or an Ayurvedic Vaidya here. A guided hike through the forest, a forest bathing experience, as well as ending your day with some kirtan, with some chanting, and really, it's called R&R retreat, where you can create your own experience and choose the classes that you want, or create a wellness spa package. But if you want a more structured transformational experience, we also offer the happiness retreat, where the life transforming power of the breath is introduced through the Sudarshan Kriya. It's called the Sky Breath. It's a rhythmic breathing practice which you can learn quickly over 3 days, and it's a 20-minute practice you can take home and practice every day to recharge yourself. Or we also have the silent retreat, where you can come for 3-4 days and really be with yourself. Just tune off from everything else, and along with the power of the breath, you are facilitated through guided meditations. You are with the nature during the breaks, and you really come out feeling transformed, truly rejuvenated. Nowadays when we talk about a vacation, we most of the times we need another vacation to recover from that vacation, right? We come back drained, tired. We're taking so many pictures, but this is like the true rest that our soul is yearning for. That we are going through in our day-to-day life. Yeah.
So basically, it's not just a vacation, it's a transformation wrapped in serenity.
Exactly.
Put it correctly, Andy. And maybe a detox too for mind, soul, and body.
Yeah, we are we are as consuming so much through social media, through our phones, through all the devices that we are interacting with, and that detox is needed on all levels. Like you said, physical, with all the processed foods that we're eating, the mental, emotional stuff we are going through in our the relationships with work, and spiritually recharging ourselves to really show up to our best version of ourselves to work or relationships. That's it's not just a luxury. I feel now it's a necessity at this time.
True, true. So, Venkatji, is this retreat center open to everyone, even those who haven't been part of Art of Living programs before? And I'm also curious, do you
Mhm.
also offer corporate wellness retreats or allow private events like weddings, etc., at this beautiful location?
Yes, yes. We want this retreat center to be all inclusive and open to people from all walks of life, whether they're beginners to meditation, yoga, or not. And that's why I talked about the R&R program, which is like a wellness vacation where you can design and create your own program, or you can be in one of the transformational programs that Art of Living offers. We also partner with other speakers, wellness influencers in this field, and there are other retreats also offered, which you can check out on our website, uh, alrc.org. And one of the other big things is we offer Ayurvedic detox programs as well, which is like a week long cleanse, Panchkarma, which is if you want to be on a health journey and really cleanse your gut, improve your immunity, and really start. Give a big reset or reboot to your health. That's a great program, as well as, like you said, our space is also open for other groups, communities, organizations, especially from our Indian community. Many spiritual groups have come here and done programs, from Chinmaya Mission to Hare Krishnas. The ISKCON community used to rent the meditation hall for 2,000 people. They used to come. We have had many weddings here as well. So if you want sattvic weddings without alcohol and meat, it's a great place, because we don't have that. It all the buildings are designed according to Vastu architecture, so it creates that vibe, that harmony in the spaces. So yes, we also do group rentals where we give you a bundled package of room, meals, and the venue. So we arrange everything for you. So you just have to show up and conduct your program or your own retreat, which we host. So you don't have to worry about the venue setup. We would set it up for you. Don't have to worry about the meals, the rooms. You just have to go with your program logistics. So we make it easy for you to host it here.
Wow, that's incredible. Like hosting any event there or
Mhm.
any kind of retreat at the mountains, Blue Ridge Mountains at the retreat center. That's going to be really amazing. And thank you for sharing that because many people do not know
Mhm.
that these things are being offered there. So
Yes.
it's a great information.
Yes, and talking about corporate wellness, it's a big, many corporates are waking up to that fact that employee burnout is such a big issue. And we just hosted a couple of retreats from one of the companies called Alex Partners, and we are hosting other companies as well. We'll be where they're coming with their team and offering them some of the Art of Living programming along with their team meetings that they are doing. So they're combining wellness with their work and making it really rejuvenating for their employees. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, Venkatji, you have seen so many people walk through those doors. Have you seen lives truly change after visiting? Maybe if you could share one story that touched you deeply.
Sure, sure. Yeah, there have been so many stories. There have been busy executives who are drained and they come and tell me how amazing it was, the retreat, and they give me a hug and they have tears in their eyes at the end of it, how recharged they feel. Or there is a cancer survivor. She used to come before COVID. We were closed for a year during the COVID time, but after she came back, she said, "I'm so grateful that your doors opened back for us because this has been such a big part of my healing journey." But there's one story which really has stuck with time, a story about how a story which changed from a tragedy to inspiration. There was a girl called Erin who was from Florida, and she had a heartbreak. Her relationship she broke, and she had an engagement plan. She had a wedding planned at a venue in Florida, in Miami, and she had given a deposit and booked the venue, but later on she discovered something, and her engagement broke and it didn't come through. So she was really disappointed, and she lost this money also on the deposit on the venue. And she came here for the silent retreat for 4 days, learning the sky breath, being in silence for a few days. At the end of it, she was so recharged, and she gained that clarity of mind that all these challenges come and go. I have to move on with my life. It gave her that emotional resilience, that to the extent that when she went back, she knew she lost this money for the venue, and she said, what can I do? And she organized a wellness expo, for invited all the different yoga studios and art of living and other wellness organizations, and organized a wellness expo for a day, uh, because she got so much out of this retreat and she wanted to give back to the community there, that around 250 people attended that, and it has been an annual feature since then. It was 8 years back, and she still comes here and shares that story. And that was such an inspiring story for me, because many of us are working behind the scenes and we don't get to know what people have gone through and what changes they make after they go back and inspire their communities. And that really touched me a lot.
That's so beautiful, actually. And it's amazing, how just a few days in the right environment can bring someone back to themselves. Very great story that you shared, Venkatji. I think our listeners and viewers are definitely going to be, benefited with that story for sure.
Beautiful.
One other story I just wanted to share, which may relate with many of Indian couples and listeners, and this was with an Indian husband who was there on one of the programs I was teaching, and he did the program, and we talk about being conscious, being mindful, being really after the breath work, you start listening and being 100% with whoever you are. And he did the program, he did the practices, and we met online after a week and just wanted to check in how it was going. And he shared that, my wife, she keeps talking, but I never listen to her, And that day, after doing my practice, that was the first day I actually listened to her. And it was been 10 years of her marriage. And when I came back and I started listening to her, she said, something has changed. What is this? And just the fact that I listened to what she was saying, it changed the quality of our relationship. And something shifted after that day in how we value each other and respect each other. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's really truly relatable. Thank you for sharing that. So, for our listeners and viewers who can't travel to Bone just yet, so what's one simple practice they can do at home this week to feel a little bit more peaceful at home?
I talked about the power of the breath. We all know that our emotions are linked to our breath. When we get angry, when we get sad, our breath changes, right? It becomes faster or shallow, changes with our emotions. But the whole secret is that our emotions can also be influenced through the breath. The rhythms in the breath can change our emotions. And it's a two-way street. But we never are aware of our breath. We never put our attention of our breath. So, if listeners, if you're able to just close your eyes and take a deep, uh, you know, 3 deep breaths and be mindful and conscious about it, and just take that moment to observe your breath and be with it. Just take a moment. Deep breath in and breathe out. Just another deep breath in and exhale. And now what we'll do is we will change our breath a little bit. We'll put our attention to the back of the throat, and we'll do a slight constriction of the throat, and we'll do something called the Ujjayi breath, the victory breath. And you can just hear me out, and then we'll do it together. So you can just put your attention on the breath in the back of the throat and take a couple of deep breaths with a slight constriction. And just feeling that brushing the back of the throat. Let's take another deep breath in. And we can open your eyes, take your own time, become aware. Did you notice the difference of how where your mind is?
Absolutely.
Before and
I'm
after.
pretty feeling calm.
Yes.
Just, doing this short practice, just few breaths did a
Yeah,
lot.
just a minute of taking your attention to our breath made a difference, right?
Mhm.
It's a lot more stable.
Yep.
So just taking 5 deep ujjayi breaths before you go to sleep can give that deeper rest and change the quality of your sleep as well. That's a big issue nowadays. Having sleep anxiety or not able to sleep well, get the needed rest, and so it's a powerful tool to help you get that rest.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Venkatji. Now, before we wrap up, what's your one message to our listeners? Why should they visit the Art of Living Retreat Center?
If you've been feeling that life is on a fast forward, this is your pause button. This is your reset button. And you don't need to go to India to find this ancient wisdom. You don't need to go to the Himalayas. We have brought the Himalayas here for you. It's here in the mountains of North Carolina. So you can just come for a weekend or stay for a week, just breathe, rest, reconnect. You'll meet beautiful people, eat nourishing food, and just rediscover that peace and joy that's already within us, right? And these mountains are one of the most ancient mountains in the world, the Blue Ridge Mountains. And it helps us connect with something deep inside of us. Our soul is also very ancient. So it has a quiet way of healing you. You just have to show up and let them transform you, right? We have a rule here. You can come here with all the problems that you have, but you can't take them back home. You have to leave them here. That's yeah. So it's a life transforming destination. We have been featured in NBC, New York Times, Reader's Digest as one of the top destinations. So we just want to share this. It's a great pride for the whole community as well, and it's really keeping this wisdom alive, and we want everybody to experience that. So for all the Shuddh Desi radio listeners, we have a special offer. We are offering a special 20% discount for any of our signature retreats or the RNR retreat where you can have like a wellness vacation. And also we wanted to give you a free soft download of the book called The Power of Vital Force, which was written by one of the senior faculty of Art of Living, Rajshi Patel, where you can get to know the power of the breath and the power of the prana. And the listeners can go to www.aolrc.org/SDR, acronym for Shuddh Desi Radio. So
Wow.
Wonderful.
aolrc.org/SDR, you can go and you can sign up to get the offer. Yeah.
Treat for, Shuddh Desi radio listeners and viewers. Thank you very much, Venkatji. I think your story and this retreat, they are a reminder that peace isn't somewhere far away. It's waiting for us to pause and look within.
Beautifully said, Andy. And to our listeners, if you have ever longed for a stillness or reset for your mind and heart, maybe it's time for you to discover this hidden gem yourself, the Art of Living Retreat Center in Boone, North Carolina.
So, this was our journey through wellness. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll dive into Ayurveda and Panchakarma with Dr. Medha Garud.
Until then, breathe, smile, and stay centered. Namaskar.
Namaskar.